Hello and welcome back. It's day 3 of Walking by Faith. Hope you enjoyed today's stuff. Our Bible verse, our memory verse for today is, "My own God sent his angel and shut the mouths of the lions." This is a lion's den, and we're going to talk about Daniel today. Daniel was another young man who had to walk with faith, extraordinary faith in God. When he was in his teens, the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar came and took captives, and Daniel was one of the captives. Nebuchadnezzar told his guards that he wanted only the best looking, the healthiest, the smartest to come to his palace and be his workers. So Daniel was one of those. Before he left, his dad told him, "Remember who you belong to." And Daniel did. Daniel never stopped praying and praising God, even when the leaders underneath the king Belshazzar decided that they didn't like Daniel, because Belshazzar liked him a lot, because Daniel was able to interpret dreams, and he knew that he could always count on Daniel, because Daniel was a good person. He was a good man. He had grown up to be a good man. So they came up with a plan. They were going to get rid of Daniel. They knew that at a certain time every day, Daniel went to his room, opened the window, and would pray. So they decided that they needed to make an idol to Belshazzar. And when they did, they talked the king into making a rule that no one could worship or praise anybody but him. Now they knew that Daniel was not going to do that. And sure enough, Daniel went up into his room and he prayed and he praised God, but he would not kneel down and praise the statue of Belshazzar. So these men went to Belshazzar and they said, "We need to do something to enforce this rule, because there are some people who are not bowing down to your statue." Well, he said, "Okay, if they can't do what I have asked them, to bow down to my statue and praise me, then we could throw them in the lion's den." And he made it a law. Well, now, a few days later, they caught Daniel praying. And they went to Belshazzar and they told him about Daniel. And he was trying to think of a way to excuse Daniel, because he didn't want to kill Daniel. He liked Daniel. He felt like Daniel was part of his family. But they was like, no, you can't do that. You've made a law, we've got to go by it. And so they got Daniel and they put him into a den of hungry lions. How would you feel? I would be really scared. But Daniel walked in. And the last thing the king said to him before they put the rock over the cave was, "I hope your God will be with you." And then they put the rock over the cave and they went back to the palace. All that night, King Belshazzar, he couldn't sleep. He was so worried about Daniel. And then when the morning came, he went back to the lion's den. And he pulled the rock back and he cried out, he's like, "Daniel, I hope your God was with you." And Daniel said, "I'm here. I'm fine." What happened was God had sent an angel, and the angel wrapped his arms around Daniel, and he closed the mouth of the lion, they all laid down, quiet, peaceful, and they didn't try to harm Daniel because the angel was there. God was there. Sometimes we feel like when we're in trouble that we're all by ourselves. We're not. God is with us, and He will help us get through the troubles. Maybe not the way we want it to be, but He's there. He's not going to leave us. Our verse for today is, "For we walk by faith and not by sight." You ready to pray with me? God, my Creator and leader, guide me along the path. I read the Bible, but don't always know the path you're guiding me down. I pray that you give me the faith to trust you. May I walk by that faith and not be tempted to take the path that looks the easiest. Be with me and guide me. Amen. Our song of the day, our theme song is coming up next. you tomorrow, guys.